Hello, everyone. Board Game Lawyer here. I realize it's late on a Thursday evening, but I'm not tired, so I thought I'd play some Marvel Champions from Fantasy Flight Games. And if you join me this evening, that means that you are up probably past your bedtime. But hey, we're going to play some Marvel Champions. So, what I decided to do today was I'm going to be playing against Mysterio using the Marvel Champions Monthly OP challenge that they gave us this week. Now, I did this earlier this week with my buddy Steve over there at Critical Encounters. And I was playing with Rogue. He was playing with Star-Lord. And Star-Lord, the attention hog that man is, he stole the show. And if you haven't got a chance to watch that video, I recommend it. You could go over to Critical Encounters YouTube page. Steve posted every single one of the encounter cards that he took on in that match. So, if you want to see a good game, turn this one off and go check that out. But anyway, for now tonight, what I decided to do is that I would go solo against this challenge using Rogue with the exact same deck that I had built the other day, which I got to see very little of because we basically run 1 and 4 rounds. And so the parameters of this is that you'll play against Mysterio, and I'm playing him standard tonight. And we're going to use, we include the Nemesis modular set that comes with player 1. So Mystique, it turns out, is Rogues Nemesis minion. So we're going to take and put Mystique along with her 3 misled cards and Mystique's manipulations in the encounter deck. Now, when building an encounter deck on Octagon, they will not allow you to not include a modular set. So to make it easy, I stuck the Power Stone in there. We're going to put the Power Stone in the victory display, get it out of here, and we're going to go ahead and include these Nemesis cards in the encounter deck. So let me get things kind of set up here. We'll shuffle those in. Let's grab those and bring them down here, and we'll hit shuffle. And so we know how Mysterio works, right? Let's look at his main scheme. He has a setup which is put shifting apparition minion into play, engage with each player. So there it is. Engage with me. This shifting apparition is a scheme of 1, attack of 1. It's an illusion. And it has 1 hit point. It's also a guard. It says while this minion's engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain when defeated. If the minion was defeated with excess damage, the defeated player shuffles the top card of the encounter deck into their deck. So you don't want to beat him with excess damage. And so as far as Maze of Mirrors are concerned, that's really all it's asking us to do, is to put that shifting apparition out there into play. So let's flip that card. Take a look at Maze of Mirrors. The 1B side says forced interrupt. When you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, deal it to yourself as a face down encounter card and draw 1 card. Okay, so we just cycle those into face down encounter cards when we would draw or discard a card from our deck. And we saw a lot of that happen earlier this week. Okay, so Mysterio, his text is Seeds of Fear, which is a forced response. So after he schemes or attacks, after you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation, place that card in your discard pile if it has the illusion trait. He has 15 hit points. He's also a criminal. And we're playing with standard 1 and 2. So let's look at Anna Marie. She is our hero. It is Rogue. In her alter ego form, she gets 3 recovery. She's also a mutant. And it says set your touched upgrade aside. So here's touched upgrade. We're just going to set it aside right next to her. And it says withdrawn, force response. After you change to this form, set touched aside. Let's look at her hero side, just so that we understand how that works. So she has a thwart of 2, an attack of 2, a defense of 2. She's got skin contact, which is an action. Attached to another character, you gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round. Traits. Force response. After the player phase ends, after the player phase begins, rather, find touched and set it aside. So this is going to be her set aside area. It's going to be sitting right next to her today. She can't attach it to herself, so she's going to put it next to herself for now. We're going to consider that the set aside area. And it says if touch is attached to a minion, rogues attacks gain overkill. If she's attached to a villain, rogue gains retaliate. If it's attached to an ally, rogue gains aerial, and we cannot attach it, at least as far as this game is concerned, to a hero. So we can scratch that last ability off of there because she can't attach it to herself. All right. And so we've looked at her hero side. We're going to flip back to her alter ego form. Let's go ahead and give the encounter deck a good shuffle. Make sure that we did that. We're going to flip over to our hand. So Anna Marie begins with a hand size of 6. So we have Superpower Adaptation. We also have Going Rogue. We have Honorary X-Men, Machine Man, another Honorary X-Men, and a Genius card in our hand. So we need to do some mulligans. We don't necessarily need 2 Honorary X-Men, and I'm going to discard Superpower Adaptation. We'll hang on to Going Rogue for now, and then we'll draw 2 more cards to begin. So we're going to draw a Southern Cross. That's where you deal 6 damage to an enemy. If Rogue has aerial, this attack deals 2 additional damage. Very nice. Does it gain overkill? Let's see, how do you get overkill? Attaching this to a minion gains overkill. All right. And then the other card that we draw is another Going Rogue. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If Rogue has aerial, remove additional. If she has retaliate, confuse an enemy, stalwart, draw a card. Can't get stalwart, no. So can't draw the card. That would be nice to do though. All right, so I feel like we're 7 minutes into this video so far, and I haven't even played a card yet. So let's go ahead and do that. So Southern Cross, that would cost 3. Machine Man costs 2, and we got that Genius card. So if I put Machine Man out and I play Southern Cross, it's going to cost me 1, 2, all my cards to play that Southern Cross. But it does gain overkill if it's on the Shifting Apparition, and we're going to have to attack that Shifting Apparition, I believe. So let's do this first. We're going to put, you know what? You know, we can attack with Machine Man, and then we won't have to use the When Defeated ability, because he can defeat without causing excess damage. So we don't necessarily have to only play the touched card on a bad guy. We could actually touch Machine Man, which would give Rogue aerial trait. In Southern Cross it says if she has the aerial trait that this does 8 damage, and I really like that idea. So let's put Machine Man out. We're going to spend our 2 resources to do that. We are going to, with Machine Man, attack the Shifting Apparition. We'll discard him. We did not do it with excess damage, but he does take 1 consequential damage. So we're going to go ahead and touch Machine Man. And then we're going to play the Southern Cross, which is going to be spent Honorary X-Men, Going Rogue, and Going Rogue to do, because she's aerial. Oh, I got to flip to my hero side first. So flipping the hero side. Now we've attached, so we needed to flip to the hero side in order to attach it. So I just forgot that one step, but we knew what was going to happen. After the player phase begins, find touch and set it aside. So we're going to do that Southern Cross to do 8 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to Mysterio. We'll discard all of these cards here. And so Rogue has the option of either thwarting, taking 2 threat off of Maze of Mirrors, and I kind of like that, or do 2 damage to Mysterio. That's also a good option as well. How about we do this? We're going to exhaust her for sure to do 2 damage. That's how you win the game, doing damage, right? So we'll put 2 damage on to Mysterio. we will advance the phase, meaning I'm going to draw my cards and ready everything. So I drew the force field generator, 2 of them. I got Gambit. When Gambit enters play with 3 charge counters on, he enters play with 3 charge counters on him. Interrupt when Gambit attacks. Remove 1 charge counter from him and deal 1 damage to an enemy. Ooh, that's very nice. We also got that superhero adaptation and the power of protection. That's going to be tough to decide what we want to do on that turn. So let's see what happens on his turn, Mysterio. So we do add 1 threat only. Is that right? Yep. To the Maze of Mirrors. And Mysterio is going to attack for 2, plus this card right here, which is an illusion. So he's going to attack for 1, plus 1 is 2 damage onto Rogue. And because Shifting Apparition is an illusion, according to Mysterio, it says, after we resolve that boost card, place that card in your discard pile. If it has the illusion trait. So it just goes over the discard pile. Right? Doesn't get shuffled in the deck or anything, right? Place that card in your discard pile. Now, forgive me, I only have ever played Rogue outside of her pre-con deck in the game that Steve and I played. So this is my first deck that I've really ever built with Rogue. I know she's been out for several months, but I'm behind times. So Rogue took 2 damage. Shifting Apparition goes in the discard pile. Now he's going to deal himself an encounter card, and it is, of course, the advance. So he's going to scheme again. Force response after you resolve a boost. Same thing with the scheme. So the advance does, and it's a star. It says reveal this card. It's a deja vu, but it does not have any boost icons on it. But let's see what the reveal says. It says when revealed, choose to either take 1 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. Shuffle deja vu into the player's deck. Take 1 damage or place 1 threat. I kind of like the concept of placing a threat. Well, he's already going to place 2, so it's going to take it from 3, 4, 5. I would put it up to 6. Let's just take the damage. We've got those force field generators, so we could stick it out if we decide to put those on the table. So deja vu, shuffle it into any player's deck. It's got to go into mine. And the rule that we used the other day is you shuffle twice. It's kind of like shuffling under the table because those things pop. They could cause some problems. So advance. We place 2 threat on Maze of Mirrors. And we discard the advance card. Okay, let's advance the phase. So it's Rogue's turn. The touched card comes back to her. And again, we have a force field generator. We've got the power of justice. I kind of like the idea of, Gambit's good too. Charge counter. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. So it's like he could do 3 damage. I think I'm more interested in protecting myself right now. So the force field generator comes out with 6 energy counters on them. Forced interrupt. When you take any amount of damage, remove that many energy counters from here. For each energy counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. So we're definitely going to spend the power of protection. And we'll go ahead and spin Gambit to do that. Advantage. Let's see. So if we're going to attach this touched card. If it's attached to the villain, Rogue gains Retaliate of 1. Or Aerial. Overkill, there's no minions. And there is lots and lots of threat on Maze of Mirrors. So, do we want to advance Mysterio to phase 2? We could, because Machine Man, he has an ability. It says when Machine Man attacks or thwarts, spend up to 3 resources of any type. Machine Man gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each resource spent this way. Kind of like that idea, actually. So, let's do this. With Machine Man, he's going to spend both of these resources, this Force Field Generator and Superpower Adaptation. to do 3 damage to Mysterio. And then Rogue is going to put Touched up onto Mysterio. She's going to attack him for 2, which removes all of his health. And we advance the villain to the next stage. Alright, Mysterio number 2 is now out. And Mysterio 2 says, when revealed in player order, shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into each player's deck. Force response, after resolving the boost card during Mysterio's activation, place that card on the bottom of your deck if it has the illusion trait. Okay, so when revealed, shuffle the top card of the encounter deck. So let's take a look at that encounter deck. And we are going to draw this unrevealed. Let's flip over to our deck. And it reads, shuffle it, the top card, into each player's deck. So we're going to shuffle it in. There it is. We're going to hit shuffle twice. 1. And shuffle again. 2. So it's sufficiently shuffled. And so now Rogue gains Retaliate. So whenever he attacks Rogue, she retaliates on him. So Machine Man takes 1 consequential damage because of that attack. We're going to advance the phase. And we didn't draw any of her fancy cards, of Mysterio's encounter cards. We did get Mutant Education. We also got Reboot, which that could come in really handy since we have a friendly android character in play. We've got Southern Cross, which is also nice. And we got an energy card. So shaping up to be a decent turn, really, if we can survive. So Maze of Mirrors, we're going to place 1 threat on it. Mysterio is going to attack Rogue. And remember, we got that force field generator, so that's good. And we also have Retaliate. So Mysterio is going to attack 4, and it is an illusion. So let's take a look at that illusion that says, after you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation, place that card on the bottom of your deck if it has the illusion trait. Alright, so I'll have to be careful about how I put that on the bottom of my deck. But the damage is 2 plus 1 is 3, so we'll remove 3 counters, 1, 2, 3, off of the force field generator. We'll do 1 Retaliate to Mysterio, and we're going to take the Shifting Apparition and we're going to flip it face down, and we're going to put it at the bottom of our deck. And the way that you do that, see that little arrow that popped up there? Now it's on the bottom of my deck. So if I were to look at my deck, that Shifting Apparition is now on the bottom of those 26 cards. So hopefully we don't see him for a while. Probably shouldn't have said that, because now something's going to happen that's going to cause us to shuffle our deck or something. But anyhow, Mysterio draws his encounter card, which is an Assault. So he's going to attack us again, which wasn't too bad last time. So we'll draw that boost card again. This time he draws something a little bit more. It is a boost. Give Mysterio 1 additional boost for this activation. So here we go. Here's the additional boost. And it is another Assault card. So he's going to attack us for 2. Plus 1 is 3. So we're going to lose our force field generator. Discard that. But we do retaliate for 1. And that is the end of Mysterio's turn. So we're going to discard all these cards. We retaliate for 1. That brings Mysterio down to 15. And then, let's see. Force response after the player phase begins. Find touched and set it aside. So we're going to advance the phase. Mysterio. So we find touched because it's the beginning of our turn. We're going to set it aside next to us. Let's take a look at Reboot. It says reveal or ready a friendly android character and heal 1 damage from it. Advantage is that we have an android in play, and Rogue's ability says that we can gain her android ability if we his android ability if we touch him. So we're going to put touched on Machine Man. Rogue is going to attack Mysterio. Let's see. Do I have enough threat on the Maze of Mirrors over there? Did I place one at the beginning of the turn? Let me look and see if I replaced threat at the beginning of his turn. Can't remember if I placed threat at the beginning of Mysterio's turn or not. I'm assuming that I did. So anyway, Rogue, sorry about that distraction, is going to do 2 damage to Mysterio. We're going to reboot. So we're going to play that card. Spending Mutant Education. Reboot says, ready a friendly android character and heal 1 damage from it. So Rogue is going to ready herself, heal 1 damage, so now she's up to 9. And we're going to discard these cards. And now Rogue is going to do 2 more damage to Mysterio. 1, 2. And let's take a look at that Southern Cross, because she also, because it is attached to a ally, it says Rogue gains the aerial trait. So since we have the aerial trait, it does 2 extra damage. So we're going to hit Mysterio for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes him down to 3. And we had to spend 3 resources to do that. So the Southern Cross and the Energy both got played. We're going to discard them. Mysterio's down to 3. Machine Man, we're going to keep him around as a blocker. Or do 1 damage. If I do 1 damage with Machine Man, we have choices. We could either take the damage on Rogue, she's got 9 health, and keep Machine Man around and hopefully take Mysterio down on his next turn. So let's advance the phase, meaning that we draw up our 5 cards. We got Vivian, we've got Victor, we've got an X-Gene, another reboot card, and Strength. So I'm glad we kept Machine Man around. We got another reboot card. Things could happen though, so we're going to place 1 threat on Maze of Mirrors. Mysterio, and we still didn't draw any encounter. We still didn't draw any encounter cards. They're still down packed inside my deck. Mysterio is going to attack for Rogue. We'll just take it. And wow, it's big. It says draw 3 cards, discard. What? Boost? Draw 3 cards, discard 3 random cards from your hand. That's an interesting one. I don't never think I've ever drawn Evil Doppelganger as a boost. Draw 3 cards, discard 3 random cards from your hand. Ooh. All right, so let's look at the boost icons first. And it is an illusion, so it is going to get shoved in our deck. So when does this happen? Force response. After you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation. So after it's resolved, place that card on the bottom of your deck if it has the illusion trait. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage onto Rogue. We do the boost ability. I guess we need to do the boost ability first, because that really would have happened before the damage. So let's just reverse that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put her back up to 9. We'll keep in mind that we're still going to do that damage. So we're going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. Still did not draw any encounter cards. And now I got to randomly discard. Let's see if I can do that. Random discard 1 card. Random discard another card. Random discard 1 more. Okay. And so I still have Vivian. I have the Plasma Pistol, Energy Transfer on the table. Evil Doppelganger. We're going to flip her over and stick her on the bottom of my deck. All right. So now we take the 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we advance to the encounter card stage. And it is caught off guard, which it says discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gain surge is touched. Permanent? It's a condition, touched. If touch is attached to a minion, it's not a permanent upgrade. Do I just lose my ability to touch? Whoa. It doesn't say it's permanent. I lose it. I lose the ability to touch because of that card, I think. It goes to the discard pile, and I don't know how you pay to get it back out again. Oh, maybe something on her card says. It says, after the player phase ends, find touch and set it aside. So I guess finding touch can be found in my discard pile, and we'll set it aside. So really caught off guard. It's not a terrible card to get for touched. That's kind of cool. So we're going to discard that caught off guard. Rogue now, look at her. She can do 3 damage. Machine Man can do 1 damage, and that takes all of Mysterio's life. Can we remove all the threat? I don't know. I don't think we can get that cute. It says energy transfer. It says after a hero action, attach touch to a character other than Rogue, deal 2 damage to that character, heal 2 damage from Rogue, and ready her. You gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round. Huh. We're not going to mess with it. We're just going to get out of this game while we can. We'll go ahead and find that touched. Rogue is going to do 2 damage to Mysterio. And Machine Man is going to spend 3 resources, strength, and energy transfer to do 4 damage to Mysterio, over thwacking him. Probably could have cleared all the Maze of Mirrors off too, maybe too. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Game's over. Mysterio loses. So, yeah, I could have done it without Steve. But it sure was much more interesting doing it with him. So, thanks for watching my playthrough video today. This is the Marvel Champions Monthly OP Challenge for the 2nd week of May. So it's Mysterio with your Nemesis set as a modular set. Your own Nemesis set, if you're player 1, gets shuffled into the encounter deck. And that's the only modular set that you'd put in there. And you take on Mysterio. So Rogue did a number on Mysterio this time. So I think I've already recorded my results from the game that Steve and I played earlier. It had a much better write-up on it. Let's just say Mysterio took 3 turns in that game, and he drew over 10 cards on average against Steve. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you how many it was. Just go check out Critical Encounters YouTube page, and you can watch the video. He has a counter down in the right-hand corner where he counts how many encounter cards can you get in a game. I think it's a personal record. I've never seen that many drawn, so it's pretty fun to watch. So thanks for watching my show today. This is the Board Game Lawyer. You can find me on Discord, Board Game Lawyer, or BGL in some cases, or the Radioactive Board Game Lawyer in some cases. I'm also on YouTube, here on Twitch, and from time to time streaming over with Vardane, the Critical Encounters Twitch channel. So have a great evening, everyone. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.